Test 3, 2, 1. Can you hear me? You can't hear me? I can't hear you either. Well, no, I heard the test. I did hear that. Yeah. Yeah. 2, 2, 2. Just a spin dial. Oh, they might have to hit a button.
Check. Go ahead.
Check 3, 2, 1. You got me? All right.
And then this is just for up here. That's your headset if you want it. So that if we go down, and then this you could probably wear now when you're up here. Cool. It'd be my guess. So you could probably pop that
and then
out.
once you're on the headset there. Perfect. You can hear me here?
Oh, yeah.
Love it.
Really good.
Love it. And I think your volumes would be there if you need more or less.
Yep.
So the only so if you gotta like off or earpiece
Yep.
is when you're using earpieces.
Down below.
Right. Got it.
So you don't have to have that in your ear.
It's not right now. Yep. Thank you.
The 116th Drake Relays marks the return of the vault at Jordan Creek Town Center. Some of the best competitive elite pole vaulters are here in West Des Moines. World ranked #1 and #2 on the women's side, and on the men's side, 5 top 25 world ranked athletes are ready to delight the fans here in Jordan Creek Town Center. Good evening and welcome to Jordan Creek Town Center in West Des Moines, part of the Drake Relays. We are ready to get the 2026 version of Vault at Jordan Creek underway. I am Brad Wells, joined with U.S. pole vaulter Jeff Coover, current assistant coach at the University of Northern Iowa. And Jeff, we have a loaded field here and an energized event here in Jordan Creek Town Center.
Yeah, you can't really beat the atmosphere here. The field is unbelievable. Some of the top American pole vaulters absolutely here at the Drake Relays Mall Vault. Yeah, I feel like everybody's hyped up. The warm-up looked like it was going really good. This runway is famously really fast, and I think our competitors are ready to go.
We have 2 different competitions happening, as we'll have a women's competition. We have world-ranked #1 Katie Moon and world-ranked #2 pole vaulter Sandy Morris. Also a 2026 Drake Relays Hall of Fame inductee in competition on the women's side. And on the men's side, Zach Bradford, a U.S. indoor champion, world ranking of #9 coming into this weekend. Chris Nilsson at #10 in the world ranking, and Casey Lightfoot #14 as well. Just a loaded field on both sides.
Yeah, totally crazy. I talked to both of those girls, and they're both fired up and ready to go. This is the season opener for both of them. And I know that they both want to jump real high, and they're real excited. And, you know, I think Zach Bradford's one to keep an eye on. His world rank #9 is a little bit deceiving. He had a great indoor season, super consistent over 590. I think if there's somebody that's going to target that Drake Mall Vault record of 590 that was set by Casey Lightfoot, it would be Zach. His consistency has been unbelievable in 2026.
Came off a season best 6 601.01 meters at the U.S. Indoor Championship. 601, a huge mark. There you see the women's competitors here in our order of competition, as we will send it down to Mike J. as he introduces our top-tier world-class athletes competing tonight.
Welcome back to Des Moines. Representing Nike, Emily Grove. The number 2 American and number 4 in the world of all time with her lifetime best of 5 meters even, 16.6 3/4. 2-time Olympian, winning silver in Rio. 10-time world championship qualifier. 2-time world indoor champion and a world outdoor silver, 4-time world outdoor silver medalist. Counting the Drake relays in stadium, pole vault in the mall, and the U.S. championships, she has won 9 pole vault titles in Des Moines. Welcome back, Sandy Morris. The number 3 American of all time and number 5 all time in the world with her lifetime best of 4.95, 16.2 3/4. She won the Olympic title in Tokyo, won silver in Paris, 3-time world outdoor champion, 2-time world indoor medalist, 7-time U.S. champion and Drake Relays runner-up in 2021. Representing Nike, Katie Moon. (2024) Olympic qualifier after finishing second at the trials. He was the runner-up in the 2025 and 2023 U.S. Indoors. Jacob Wooten. (2021) Olympian, a Pan Am Games champion and a U.S. Indoor champion. He was 3rd in the mall and 8th in the stadium in 2024, Matt Ludwig. He's been a world outdoor finalist. He was 4th in the ball in 2024 and 4th at the Drake Relay, or 2nd rather, at the Drake Relays in Stadium. Cole Walsh. In March, he won a jump off at the U.S. Indoor to qualify for with Casey Lightfoot to qualify for the World Championships. A 6-time U.S. champion, 3-time NCAA champion, number 3 American of all time. A 2-time Olympian, he won silver in 21. The Drake Relays champion and a world indoor bronze medalist, representing Nike, Chris Nelson. (2026) U.S. Indoor champion. He went on to finish 5th in the world indoors. 2-time world outdoor qualifier. He was the runner-up in the mall in 2024 and 3rd in the stadium, Zach Bradford. And our final competitor, the American record holder at 6:07, 19 feet. He was 4th in the Olympics in Tokyo, a world indoor and outdoor qualifier. He's the defending champion in the mall, setting a new Jordan Creek Town Center record of 5 meters 90, 19.4 1/4. And the defending Drake Relays in Stadium champion, he went 5.82, 19.2. Welcome back to Des Moines, representing Puma, Casey Lightfoot. And that is your field, the 2026 Drake Relays pole vault at Jordan Creek Town Center.
All right, Jeff, we've got 3 men who have cleared a 6-meter plus bar. All 6 have gone 583 or higher at some point in their life. This is going to be fun. It's going to be energetic. We also got a little money riding on this as well. You see the prize earnings for the different place winners, and we also have a $1,000 bonus if you can break the existing mall pole vault record. That's incentive, isn't it?
Yeah, that's incentive for sure. I know those guys are all targeting that, and you're right. We got 3 guys that have jumped 6 meters. That's pretty unbelievable. I mean, you don't get quality fields like this every day, and definitely not in a mall in Des Moines, Iowa. So this is exciting and super fun. I'm excited to see, you know, which of those 6-meter guys rises to the occasion as we get going with the women.
All right, Annika Newell, currently number 45 in the world ranking, as the women starting at 4.35 meters. That's 14 feet 3 1/4 inches. And as you see them warm up too, definitely it's a unique environment with the background of fans and a wall really 15 feet or so away from the bar.
Yeah, that backdrop there can kind of rattle you at first. It's a little bit unsettling, kind of taking off and seeing the wall kind of coming at you. But as you you know, take a few jumps, you get used to that sort of thing and sort of start trusting your spacing and trusting what the view looks like on the way up. So I definitely expect that Annika will get that dialed in the next couple jumps here.
So Chloe Timberg, our next competitor, 2026 U.S. Indoor Champion, cleared 470 at the Indoor Championships, and an excellent start on her first jump. Timberg clears 14 feet 3 1/4 inches.
Chloe's in her first year out of college. It can always be a little bit of a difficult adjustment, adjusting to that post-collegiate life, but she has been so consistent, like you said, won that U.S. indoor title. That's a nice way to start. That's exactly how you want to start the meet, on a first attempt clearance. Pole looked easy. Great start.
NCAA champion in 2024. Now Emily Grove.
Emily's no stranger to the Drake Mall vault. Jumped here several times. She knows what the backdrop looks like. She knows how to get comfortable. Like I said, that's just how you want to get it started. A nice, easy make. You know, she's keeping her grip a little bit lower on the pole as she gets going here, and nice and comfortable, plenty of height. Looks really good.
And she was runner-up at the U.S. Indoor Championships to Timberg. So a clean open for Emily Grove. And now we go back to Annika Newell.
We do have several girls passing this first height.
So Sandy Morris, Katie Moon will both pass. Newell's second attempt clears it.
4 jumps, 3 clearances. That's pretty good for a first height. So I guess we'll switch to the men. Yeah, Annika got it dialed in here. I think she scooted back just a little bit, gave herself some room to run in there. Like I said, this runway is really fast. And with a fast runway comes long steps. Most of these athletes are going to have to back up just a little bit and get used to that space coming in. So Annika takes a look at the video of her last jump. The Canadian has a PR of 470, and we get ready for the men as they readjust the bar. We'll start at 535. That's 17 feet 6 1/2 inches, and a great look at the run rate coming right at the bar here inside Jordan Creek Town Center. Yeah, it's really a cool setting. I mean, there's not enough that can be said about just, you know, the work that went into the setup, that goes into the setup every time we do it here, and you know, the attention to detail with, you know, putting the crowd where they can see it up close and personal. Obviously, you can see a lot of love from the young ones getting to see this really unique competition.
And you saw the competitors in the men's field on screen. Those are the world rankings. We have 5 athletes that are in the top 25 of the world rankings. We'll get it started with Jacob Wooten, the only competitor without the world ranking, but at the U.S. Championships was runner-up at the 2024 team trials.
Hey, he made that Olympic team. Jacob's really consistent at U.S. Championships. Just always seems to bring it right at the right time. He had a little injury indoors, so didn't jump a whole lot, if at all, indoors. But getting going now. Oh! He hit that just how you want to hit it. If you want to leave it up, you want to touch it on the way down. It's a lot more likely that the bar stays up if you hit it on the way down. He gave it a little brush on the way down. That could have stayed on, but it didn't. But I'm assuming that he's going to make a little adjustment to get himself a little deeper into the pit on the next one.
Season best 545 is PR 590. As
takes a look at the video, he's seen enough. He knows what he needs to do.
2020 Tokyo Olympic qualifier, 2024 Paris Olympic qualifier, and Matt Ludwig gets ready.
Yeah, Matt's another guy that just tends to be ready right at the right times. Like you said, he's made an Olympic team and recently switched equipment. He changed his the brand of his poles, which can be a little bit of an adjustment, but I think these new poles look really good for his jump, and let's see what we get tonight.
29-year-old Olympian. He was an alternate in Tokyo and ended up competing and placing 10th.
Bail. The pole vault world, we call that a bail. That just something didn't quite feel right off the ground as he was leaving the ground. He knew it was not going to be a successful attempt, so just went ahead and bailed on it. But like you said, one of my favorite things about Matt, he was the Olympic alternate. They called him about 2 days before the preliminary round in 2020 and said he was in because of a positive COVID test from Sam Kendricks. And he got on a flight. I think he landed at 4 a.m. or something, and the prelim was a few hours later, and he got out there and he was jumping at the bar that made the final, almost did it. So just really cool resilience from Matt. He was kind of an anytime, anywhere kind of guy. So we'll look to get a clearance out of him on the next one as we come to Cole here.
Cole Walsh, 4th in 2024 here at the vault at Jordan Creek. And his first attempt here at 5:35, nice. Done with ease.
Nice and easy. Cole's been really consistent this season. I watched his warm-up. He looked really dialed in and really confident in his warm-up. Trains in Phoenix with Nick Hysong. That's a nice easy jump there. Nice easy first attempt clearance. First one over this height.
He was 4th place at the U.S. Championships this past 2025 season. He was runner-up back in 2019 when the U.S. Championships were at Drake Stadium. Jeff, you competed in
Indeed, I did.
U.S. Championships.
That was my last U.S. Championships. Cole was just coming on the scene. I remember watching him jump and thinking that's kind of could be one of the next big guys.
Here's Chris Nielsen, one of the current big guys, up and over the bar easily. That's the 10th ranked pole vaulter in the world with a clean jump on his first attempt.
Yep, Chris will go talk to his coach, Derek Miles, there from University of South Dakota. Chris went to University of South Dakota and has worked with the same coach his whole career, which I love, just that consistency between an athlete and a coach. You can't really beat it. So Chris is coming off a little shorter approach tonight. I noticed he's using 14 steps. His normal is 18. The one difficulty at the back of the runway at this setup is that there's that overhang, so some of these guys have to come in a little bit closer. Here comes Jacob again. Jacob
Wooten on his second attempt. And a clean jump of 5:35 to advance Jacob to the next height.
Yeah, that one looked a lot better, a lot smoother off the ground there from Jake. One thing with the pole vault, you can make an adjustment on the standards, so you can effectively move the crossbar forward and backward compared to where the plant box is, and that's up to the athlete to decide. I noticed that Jacob did not make any adjustment to his standards even after landing on it just a little bit on the first attempt. That's usually a sign that vaulter thinks that they can get themselves a little bit deeper on the pit on the next attempt. So made a good decision not making an adjustment there.
Matt Ludwig, second attempt, hits the bar and is not over.
Boy, that was obviously a lot better. His first one, he had that bail, so, you know, obviously something was way off on his first one. That second one was a lot closer, a lot better. He's looking at the video now, kind of trying to see what he needs to do differently. I was kind of wondering if he was going to pass his third attempt, but it looks like he's going to go back there and take it. You can elect to pass any attempt that you would like. You're out of the competition when you have 3 misses in a row. So if he took his 2 at 5:35 and missed both of those and then elected to pass it, his last attempt at 5:50, he would only get 1.
He'd have to clear it on his first attempt.
At that height. So sometimes, you know, later in the competition when guys are trying to, you know, strategize to get the win here tonight, you might see that pop up. You might see a miss followed by a pass, but this early in the competition, I think he's just going to take his time and make his little adjustment and try and sneak over this 5:35. You know, the nice thing with this mall vault setup is the women will go next, so, you know, Matt can take his 2 attempts in a row here, and he doesn't have to worry about getting tired because the girls are going to come up next, and they're going to get, you know, take 10 minutes at their bar, so he's going to get a nice little rest after this.
Matt Ludwig, 2017, was an NCAA champion. He cleared 5:60 as a freshman at Missouri. He would then transfer to Akron and continue to have a decorated career. A 4-time NCAA outdoor qualifier. U.S. indoor champion in 2020 when he cleared 5:85. 2023 Pan American Games champion. His personal best 5:90. That was in February of 2020 in Mexico. Matt Ludwig, 29-year-old.
Yeah, Matt's made a couple adjustments over the last couple of years. He made a coaching switch to Tim Mack, who was a 2000 gold medalist in Sydney. He was actually, or excuse me, in Athens. He was one of my coaches when I was competing, so I obviously have a bias to say that was a good coaching switch. And then changing his equipment as well. So, you know, he's just getting used to some different things here, but hopefully we can get him over this last one here.
Energy has cranked up here inside Jordan Creek Town Center. And he hits the bar. And
plenty of height. Just ticked it on the way down.
Matt Ludwig, 3 attempts at 5:35. We will be back with more pole vault action. World-class athletes are going up and over here in West Des Moines.
Something big is happening. It's here. Mediacom's most powerful technology yet. Groundbreaking internet. With speeds up to 2 gig, our fastest yet. And the next generation of wireless with Eero Wi-Fi 7. Reimagine home internet. The future is now.
Drake Relays action here in 2026. This is the vault at Jordan Creek. Annika Newell of Canada takes her first attempt at 4:45.
Stay on there.
And Annika with a miss on her first attempt at 4:35. That's the bar down here at 4.45 meters. That converts to 14 feet 7 1/4 inches. And so you think about it, Jeff, if we're talking and people aren't used to being around pole vault, that's like jumping over the top of a basketball hoop backboard.
Yeah.
Almost, right?
Yeah, I think that's about right.
Probably
yeah,
even higher.
A lot of those freeway overpasses are kind of tend to be nice pole vault heights. So next time you're driving on the freeway and you see one of those overpasses, remember these heights from the Jordan Creek Mall for sure. These are already, you know, we're already getting up there to kind of business territory here at 445. Yeah. These are heights that a few of these girls will be pretty satisfied with. So especially this early in the season, you know, they're kind of building into things as we get into Chloe here.
Chloe Timberg, her first attempt, 14 feet 7¼ inches.
Nice and easy. Oh!
Raises the bar, but it stays up. A clean jump on attempt number 1 for the 2026 U.S. Indoor Champion.
Yeah, I love Chloe's jump. She's so powerful at the takeoff and then kind of stylish at the top, popping off of that and wiggling her way around that bar. Speed is everything in the pole vault. You can tell that she knows that. She's bringing everything that she's got, converting it through. The pole bend's nice. She catches it in a little whoops. I like that. Plenty of height over the bar there. She's feeling good. 2 jumps in, 2 makes. She's in good territory.
NCAA champion in 2024. Just 2 years ago, she was an NCAA champ, set an NCAA championships meet record when she jumped 471. Emily Grove, attempt number 1. And 2 clean jumps to start the competition for Emily Grove.
So you'll notice here, if we get a replay of that one, that she had a little tickle of the bar on the way up. As she was going up and over, she just gave it a little brush right there. So that pole looks a little bit too soft for me. All these pole vaulters will bring 6 or 8 poles to the meet, and as the height gets higher and as they bring more speed, they'll need to use a little bit stiffer one. So that's actually a really good sign that she was able to make that bar, even though the pole might have been just a hair soft. So her and her coach Derek Miles talking about that now, and I would expect that she's going to go back there and grab another pole for the next height.
Emily Grove, 2026 U.S. Indoor runner-up to Timberg. She cleared 463. And here is Katie Moon, 2021 Olympic champion in Tokyo, 2024 silver medalist at the Paris Games. Will take her first jump here inside Jordan Creek in 2026.
Just a little hang up when she was in the air there. I think she said that she felt really out on that, so she felt like she had to get long at the end, and then she got a little mixed up in the air. I'll tell you that if she can iron that out, it looks like she's on a pretty good sized pole that I wouldn't be surprised if she puts a smooth one together on the next one if she goes way up in the air. So we'll see what we get out of the next attempt, but just a little kind of ease in one. You know, one thing I like to see is she's starting at 445. She probably has that 480-ish, or if not 490 bar in mind. She's starting nice and low and just trying to ease into things and kind of dial things in as the competition goes.
So it's Sandy Morris passing Katie Moon with an attempt. We go back to Annika Newell, her second attempt here at 445.
Oh, yeah.
And Annika with a clean jump.
One thing I really like to see when I'm watching pole vault is where the jump goes in comparison to the crossbar. You see that one's right down the middle, right over the label of the bar, right over the box. All of that energy is getting directed directly upwards. Sometimes when they get a little off balance coming into the takeoff, they'll get knocked a little to the left, a little to the right, but what you'll notice usually is that their best jumps happen right down the middle.
Annika is a 3-time Olympian. She competed in the 2016 games in Rio, competed in Tokyo, and in Paris. So Katie Moon now, her second attempt. Her season best, 470, cleared February 19th in France.
That was her only meet of 2026 so far. She only has competed once. A little closer there. There it is. Yep.
And you could tell before she even left the runway that she had a good jump.
There's a flow that goes along with the end of the run into the takeoff, and when you see the run just transition straight into the takeoff, you know that it's probably going to be a pretty good jump. That one you could tell she felt really comfortable 3 or 4 steps away and just set it up really nice, and that was a nice clean jump. That was what she was looking for on the first one, but sometimes it just takes one to get things going.
Katie Moon, a gold medalist, silver medalist, also a 3-time world champion, 7-time American champion.
Another thing I love about the pole vault, there's Derek Miles working with Katie. Derek's not Katie's full-time coach. Derek does full-time coach Emily Grove, but in the pole vault world, we kind of share coaches as we travel around the world competing. Your coach can't always come with you and be at every meet, but all the coaches are totally willing, ready, and able to help all of the athletes. And at the end of the day, they want each of these girls to have their best day. And when the dust settles, we find out, you know, who's the best on the day. So it's a big camaraderie kind of event.
You really feel it as an athlete, and that support system too. Like, while you want to beat the person you're competing against, you want to see everybody do their absolute best.
Absolutely. I mean, best case scenario, if you were to ask any of these athletes, they'd say the same thing. The best case scenario is everybody jumps a PR, and I just jump higher than everybody.
Yeah.
So everybody wants to win, but they want to beat the field when they're at their best.
Right, see Chloe Timberg ready to watch the men jump. Jacob Wooten will take his first attempt at 550 as the men raise the bar to 18 feet and a half inch. We're at 550.
We're on our second height here. This would already tie my mall vault PR of 550. So
okay.
After this height, I'm out, unfortunately. Oh, nice one.
Jacob Wooten.
That was a really smooth jump. Jake's another guy coming off just a little shortened approach here, but he builds speed so fast. He's such a good accelerator that he can jump really high off short approaches. That 550 jump was really nice and plenty of height there. He should look good for the next one too.
And all these athletes will be competing on Saturday in the Drake Relays pole vault competition. Jacob Wooten, a Drake Relays runner-up in 2022 to Christopher Nilsson, and Wooten was also 6th in 2021. Cole Walsh is now ready.
Yeah, University of Oregon grad. He was only an 18-foot pole vaulter in college, but like I said, his first USA's was my last, and I remember watching him jump right when he was coming out of college and just thinking there's a whole lot more in the tank for this guy. He's been one of the most consistent pole vaulters around for the last 6 or 8 years. Well, he's a little under on that one. So you notice he got kicked a little to the left there. Cole's another guy. His best jumps are always going to go right down the middle. He was a little labored at the end of that run.
Cole with a little history with Des Moines as well, and way back in 2013 he competed at Drake Stadium in the U.S. Junior Championships as well. The year before he won the U.S. Junior Championships in 2024. So Chris Nilsson.
That's really going to date me because I also jumped in that U.S. Championships, not as a junior, as a senior. All right, Chris.
Chris Nilsson, number 10 in the world. I'll take his first attempt at 550, a 6-time U.S. champion.
Nice and easy. He's happy with that one. Chris hasn't competed a whole lot in 2026. Came back from an injury and had a nice end of his indoor season for sure.
Yep.
This is the opening of his outdoor season. That was a nice jump. Really comfortable. Looks like he's on the right pole for another height. you know, when they go up in the air and they almost tick it on the way down like that, you could tell he was kind of trying to shape his body around the backside of the bar there. That's a good sign that they're on the right pole to jump at least 1, maybe 2 more heights on the same pole. It's always nice when you don't have to change your equipment between jumps.
This will be the first attempt for Zach Bradford, the 2026 U.S. Indoor Champion winner, and asking for the crowd to get involved in. What do you love about just the energy that the crowd's able to create so close to the runway and the vault pit?
Yeah, it's unlike anything else. Usually when you're getting these claps, they're coming from up in the stadium, and you know, here you're running right past, probably 6 feet away from some of these fans, giving you a nice, giving you a nice encouragement. The fans might want it even more than the athletes, which we love. You can really tell. I mean, even in the warm-up when they had the soft bar up there, the bungee bar, anytime somebody went up and over it without touching it, the crowd was erupting and going crazy. Yes. Such an exciting event, such an exciting sport. You know, folks in Iowa don't get too many chances to watch the pole vault outside of events like this and the Drake Relays, so I think that they are really enjoying it.
So Casey Lightfoot will join the party as well. As Casey returning to defend his vault at Jordan Creek Crown. Ranked number 14 in the world, the American record holder of 6:07.
American outdoor record holder for sure, and the Drake Mall Vault record holder. I'm not sure which one he would broadcast more, but both of them big claims to fame for sure.
There's a lot of questions. They have it stacked up. There could be an attempt at 591 to potentially up that mall record.
Same thing, a little tick on the way down. You know, sometimes that end of the warm-up and then skipping the first height can kind of interrupt your rhythm just a little bit. I saw him in warm-ups, his last warm-up, he put the bar at 570, 18.8, and he went way up and over it, nice and easy. So some of these guys probably just needing a jump or two to get their rhythm going again. That's why I like to see athletes starting low, working their way into things and just getting a rhythm, especially like I mentioned earlier in an event like this where you're going to get a long break after every height while the next gender takes over. So,
Jeff, how about the workload of vaulting on Monday, coming back, competing again on Saturday? Is that taxing? Is that about a pretty good rest break?
I think that's pretty good. You know, they'll have time to have a rest day tomorrow, probably get a training day in on Wednesday or Thursday, and then come back on Saturday. You know, we used to do this when I jumped in it. We used to do it on Wednesday, and there was at least 1 or 2 years where we went Wednesday, Friday. So that was more difficult to manage. These guys will be okay with those couple days break. They're pretty used to that sort of rhythm. Oh yeah.
Back to Cole Walsh, who clears 550 on his second attempt, and 3 will advance to 565 with Zach Bradford and Casey Lightfoot.
He really committed to that takeoff. You could tell that his kind of only mindset on that was just make sure to commit to the takeoff. What that does is helps the pole to move into the pit a little bit further. He came up a little short on the one before it, and you could tell he you know, sometimes you're in a mindset of you have a certain pole in your hands that you know you can maybe jump 570 or 580 on a perfect jump, but on an imperfect jump, as long as you get the pole moving, you're going to be up and over 550, and that looks like that kind of jump for him for sure. Nice and smooth.
All right, Zach Bradford, his second attempt here at 550. A 3-time NCAA champion back in 2021 and 2022. He's the best in collegiate vaulting and made that one look easy.
I've mentioned it before, but the one before it, he went off to the left, kind of got a little stuck by that left standard. That one went directly right, straight down the pipe, right down the middle. As soon as he took off and he was going down the middle, I knew that was going to be a good one. It's just a really good way to watch pole vault, is to see where the jump is headed in comparison to the pit or comparison to the crossbar, right over the label there in the middle of the pit. That's a really nice jump. He'll be happy with that one. Nice and high in the air too.
Zach Bradford, the 6th 2024 U.S. Olympic trials. Took 8th at the World Championships in 2023. It was the Indoor Championships. Is 6:01 this year. 4th best jump in the world this year. And there you see Casey Lightfoot getting set for his 2nd attempt. Here is Casey, 2nd attempt.
Right down the middle. Very nice jump, very nice.
And we have 5 men that all advance beyond the 550 bar, and we'll be approaching 565 on their next attempts. So here's another look here. And so Casey with the clean jump, and now we step aside as I was able to speak with Sandy Morris earlier before this competition started, the world ranked #2 pole vaulter and a 2026 Drake Relays Athletes Hall of Fame inductee.
Thank you so much. Well, you know, no pressure. I feel like I got to show up today. I'm getting in the Hall of Fame later this week, but no, this will be my season opener, and I thought what better way to come into the mall and open my season for 2026 in this atmosphere. I'm excited, and I'm just honored to be inducted into the Hall of Fame.
An opening.
Do you guys want me to go down there at any point? Sounds good.
All right, so there you hear from Sandy Morse. Yeah, you go into the Hall of Fame. I like that they put current athletes in because fans
Absolutely.
can come and see, hey, here's an athlete at the top of their game right now, compete.
Yeah, to get to do a Hall of Fame induction and jump twice in the same week, that's a fun week in Des Moines for Sandy Morris for sure. And yeah, it's great for the fans. They can know that this is an athlete that has done some incredible things here at the Drake Relays and is looking to add some more.
Annika Newell will be the first competitor to attempt 455. This is 14 feet 11 inches.
Ooh, that was close. That was a close attempt there for Annika. 455 would be a solid height to get her season going for sure. That looked like a nice run and a good takeoff. She's putting together some really consistent looking jumps. Just has to get the one that's in the right place at the right time. You see there, she's getting video from Emily Grove's fiance, so you know everybody's contributing here today.
Annika has a PR of 470 and cleared 461 in the Arkansas qualifier in the later part of February. Talk about, Jeff, professional athletes. We mentioned it's an opener for some of them competing for the first time. It's a progression, right? You want to be peaking towards the end of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, these guys are excited, and this is such a cool and great way to kick their season off because the energy is high. You know, it really is a good opportunity to get their season going in a really positive way and get a really good result early on that they can build off of. But there's no doubt that they want to build from here. They want to start, and then they want to build through the U.S. Championships and obviously beyond.
Chloe Timberg, her first attempt at 14 feet 11 inches.
Just a little stuck in the takeoff on that. Her previous ones looked a little bit more free coming through the end of the run and into the takeoff. So I'm sure that's something here. Here we have Derek Miles coaching his third athlete of the meet. You can see she's bringing all the speed. She got a little forward at the end of the run and just pull didn't quite move how she wanted it to. I love that she's committed to all of these jumps. You always got to commit to these jumps because you never know when, you know, you're just going to hit it on the way down that it's going to pop up and stay on the peg. So oftentimes you see younger vaulters bailing on some of those jumps or not giving them a chance, and I love that Chloe is committing to all of those.
Emily Grove now set to compete, was third at Milroy's game in New York earlier this year, and U.S. Indoor Championships runner-up to Timberg. Her attempt at 455 is over.
Definitely a stiffer pole on that one than the one before it. Honestly, I think the jump before it, technique-wise, might have been a little bit smoother. Sometimes when you go up a pole, you just kind of got to make sure it gets in, but she smooths it out on that pole. I think she's got another height or two for sure. She climbed up and over that one really nice, and she's got a clean sheet. I mean, that's clean through 455. She's got to be feeling pretty good right now about where she's at in the competition. She's only 3 jumps in, and the next height is 465. That's really solid.
And Sandy Morris will now take her first run here inside Jordan Creek.
Yeah, Sandy made a coaching change last year. Switched to Brooke Rasnick, coach at University of Louisville, a fantastic pole vault coach. Not enough can be said about what she's been able to do at the University of Louisville. And Sandy went down there and started working with Brooke, and everything just took off, and her jump looks incredible right now. I know she's pushing some big poles. She's excited about today. Nice.
Excellent start.
A little sigh of relief there, a little brush off, because she knows that her height was well behind the bar on that one, so the pole was a little bit soft. She's moving really fast through the zone, so through the area where you want to clear the bar. She had to do some fancy footwork to get out of the way of it, but landed really deep in the pit. So that's kind of really what you want on your first attempt, is for the pole to move really easy and for your height to be behind the bar. That means you started at the right height with the right pole. So she'll definitely make a pole adjustment on the next one. Go to a stiffer one, and obviously, you know, when you have a stiffer pole, it's a little bit harder to bend, but when it's a little bit harder to bend, it gives back a little bit more, so she'll be able to jump a little bit higher. It looks like Katie's going to pass, I think.
So Katie passing at 455 as Annika Newell, her second attempt. Up and into the bar.
I think she made a standard adjustment between the first and second attempts there, moved them forward just a little bit, and I actually thought that looked like a better jump, and if the bar was a little further back, she might have had a chance at it. That was a pretty good jump, so I wonder if she's going to move them back again, or she could change poles as well. All these jumps from Annika look really good, and you know, pole vault technique-wise, this is, you know, some stuff that you'd want to replicate. She just needs to get it dialed in at the right time.
All right, so Chloe Timberg will have her second attempt. Timberg competed at Rutgers.
Yeah.
And she was NCAA champion 2024. Cleared 471. That was the NCAA championships record. So the first NCAA track and field champion in Rutgers women's track and field history. Is the Big Ten Field Athlete of the Year and set the Big Ten indoor meet record as well. Attempt number 2.
Nice.
It can dance, but as long as it stays up there, Timberg will move on.
That was a nice jump. Like I said, she's so smart over the bar. She just knows exactly where the crossbar is. She reminds me of Sam Kendricks in that way. We call it bar awareness in the pole vault world. Just knowing exactly where it is and how to shape her body to get around that bar.
And so Annika Newell will have her third attempt at 455. Annika, 3-time Olympic qualifier for Canada, Canadian national champion in 2018. That was when she cleared 445. This is an attempt at 455. The Canadian indoor record is her PR of 470. Annika Newell trying to stay in the competition.
I think she switched to a stiffer pole Lots of height there, just not in the right place. Good job, Annika. Super warm welcome from the crowd. You got to love that.
Annika Newell, 2 successful attempts, clearing 435 and 445. Bows out at the 455 bar as the competition is going to continue to crank up here at Jordan Creek Mall. All part of Drake Relays Week in Des Moines.
If you love your phone, like can't eat, can't sleep, can't live without it kind of love, but you don't love your big cell bill, get Mediacom Mobile. Keep the phone you love, but love it even more with a lower bill.
Groundbreaking internet is here. Mediacom's most powerful technology yet. Get speeds up to 2 gig and the next generation of wireless with Eero Wi-Fi 7. Reimagine home internet now.
Walk inside Jordan Creek Town Center, and today you'll be walking into an elite athletic competition. The vault at Jordan Creek Town Center, all part of the 116th Drake Relays. It was here in 2024 on the mall's 20th anniversary, and it returns. Pole vaulters primed. Some of the most competitive elite showcases in relays history today and on Saturday. All of these athletes and additional competitors will be competing Saturday at the Drake Relays Elite Pole Vault Competition as Jacob Wooten makes his first attempt at 565. He cleared 550 on his first attempt.
At 565, we're getting to some serious territory here. Jake was pretty close on that one. Just gave it a little tick on the way down. He's got his standards in there pretty close. I can tell looking at kind of the side of the standard base, there's a few Drake Relays workers there moving them back and forth, so I'm kind of keeping an eye on whether the athletes are moving their standards around or not.
So 565 converts to 18 feet 6.5 inches. Cole Walsh will take an attempt. He cleared 535 on his first attempt. Had one miss before clearing 550. And we'll take a run here, 565. Right up into the fans surrounding the bar here at Jordan Creek Town Center.
For reference, this is sort of a height that we would expect in an Olympic prelim or a World Championships prelim to qualify you for the final. So we're getting into some pretty serious territory here, like I said. That was a nice jump for Cole, just bumped it on the way up a little bit. I wonder if he'll go ahead and change equipment, but yeah, I mean, these are heights where you kind of got to start getting pretty dialed in. You know, you got to have things just right. You know, we're not at opening bar anymore. You notice that Cole just gave that a little brush on the way up. Nice looking run, good takeoff. He was really well connected to that one and just gave it a little tick on the way up. Like I said, you have more of a chance of the bar staying on if you hit it on the way down than on the way up, just with the way the gravity's holding the bar onto the pegs.
So Cole Walsh will await his second attempt. Chris Nilsson is set to jump. Number 10 in the world. He cleared 585 at the 2026 U.S. Indoor Championships. Ranks third all-time among American men with a 6:05 PR. That's 19 feet 10.25 inches. And pole vault, when you have to have so many things go right, it's so technical. These athletes, even though they are Olympians, world-class athletes, it's impossible to go jump your PR every single time out.
That's right, yeah. There's a lot of moving parts. Oh, that was a good jump. Oh, he's fired up. You know, not to read into their body language too much, but I've watched Chris jump a lot. And I think part of what he's so excited about was that was not a perfect jump. He was a little off balance, a little under at the takeoff, got knocked around a little bit to the left, and still committed to the jump and went up and over. So sometimes, you know, like you said, there's so many moving parts and so many variances between jumps. When you can put together a little bit of an imperfect one and still sneak over a height like 565,
yeah,
you get fired up because you know, oh my gosh, if I put a good one together, I know how high I can go.
So Zach Bradford now attempting 18 feet 6.5 inches. Bradford again was runner-up in 2024 here at the vault at Jordan Creek.
Zach gets so much height off of the top of his pole. At the second part of his jump, you'll notice he just kind of lets go. He's kind of a littler guy, and he's loading up some pretty big poles, and he's holding down a little bit, but he gets shot up in the air so high. It's something that we're always watching with Zach. As pole vaulters, we're watching him, just how far he's able to get above his grip with seemingly little effort. You know, for reference, most of these guys are probably on 16.5 or 16.8 long poles, and the bar's at 18.6. So you do the math. Your box is 8 inches deep as well, so that takes some grip height away. Most of these guys are getting close to, if not exceeding, 3 feet above their grip height, which is where the bar is. So pretty serious stuff.
Here's Casey Lightfoot, the champion here in Jordan Creek in 2024. And he was able to hold off Zach Bradford. He has the Jordan Creek Mall record jump of 5.90. This is his first attempt at 5.65.
Nice. Really good. A bit of a broken record, but right down the middle is what we love to see. Just a really good sign that the run transitioned really well into the takeoff. He felt really good about that one. You can tell when the jump moves that smooth. He's feeling dialed in right now, and kind of like I mentioned earlier, he did nice height, almost touching it on the way down. That's perfect. That's exactly what you want. So he's not going to need to make any adjustments on the next one. You might see him maybe hold a finger or two higher on the pole, but you know, he's in a good spot where he knows, okay, if I do that jump again, I'll make the next one.
Jacob Wooten, his second attempt, 5.65.
That was a smart move. Sometimes something just doesn't feel quite right at the first step or two, and those initial steps of the run are so important for what happens down the runway. And you know, in the first 2 steps, it's not too late to pull the plug and kind of walk back and reset. Oh, he's feeling something. He's calling it. I know Jake's been dealing with a little injury. That's why he hasn't been jumping much indoors, and I think he's being smart and making sure that he can jump later this week, as you kind of talked about with the turnaround to go out, jump outside the stadium. He has a solid jump today of, with that 550 over.
See him grab the massager and hit his right calf.
I think he's been dealing with a little bit of Achilles tendonitis and maybe some calf issues as well. So maybe he's just going to skip one attempt and try and come back for a third. Looks like it could be a cramp too. He's stretching out.
So Cole Walsh now with the pole in his hands. This will be his second attempt at 5.65.
Definitely looks like a different pole than he was using on the first attempt. Oh, that was close. It's hard to tell, and you kind of have to have a pole vaulter's eye, but you can tell when a guy is up a pole and just doing everything he can to make sure to transfer as much energy as he can into the takeoff. You see him kind of bury his head into the takeoff, just making sure that pole is moving in, and then because of that, he just sort of missed the timing on the swing up. So he got a little stuck right there, but still almost snuck over it. So, you know, the thing that he'll take from that is, all right, if I can catch another takeoff that feels something like that, I should be able to swing up nice and smooth, and the pole will be right, and he could get kicked over the bar. So, you know, that one definitely looked like a typical jump that a vaulter will have after they switch poles. They go up. They just want to make sure that the equipment is right, especially on a second attempt there. It's not do or die. He still knows he's got a third one, so I think he'll feel more confident on the next one.
Now Jacob Wooten grabs the pole. He jumps back on the
He's going to hop back out
runway
there.
here, yeah.
I think usually that's a sign that he's got a little bit of a cramp going on. I don't think he would keep going if he had an injury that he was worried about. So I've dealt with calf cramps before, and they can be tough. Once they start on a certain day, it's hard to get them to go away, but we'll see if that massage gun did its trick. Now.
And he's going to wave to the crowd. That'll be it for Jacob Wooten today. Just unable to feel it right, but cleared 18 feet and a half inch. And so Cole Walsh with his third attempt here at 18 feet 6.5 inches. So Walsh getting sent here. 2 years ago he was fourth. He was runner-up in the elite competition after finishing fourth here inside Jordan Creek. 2 years ago was third back in 2022 at the Drake Relays. And an opportunity to move up, and if he clears 565, he'll have an attempt at 575 awaiting him.
You know, I don't have a crystal ball, but I really feel like if Cole can get over this one, he's going to make the next one. I feel like he's on one of the stiffer poles in his bag, and if he can find his way over this bar, I think he makes another one. So I know he's really focused, really hyped for this one. You can see him just really going through the checklist in his head.
Got it on his way up, and that will be 3 misses and an exit for Cole Walsh. And as our competitors get ready for the next height, let's hear from Director of the Drake Relays, Blake Bolden. I spoke with him before the competition. Yeah, number 1, number 2 in the world in the women's event competing today. Grand Blue Mile is tomorrow. You got Shot Put indoor series coming up on Wednesday. So many events leading up before we even get started on the track. Really builds the hype.
Yeah, absolutely. Tonight is just the start of several big world-class competitions before the biggest of them all here in Des Moines, the Drake Relays on Saturday. Tomorrow night, the U.S. 1 Mile Championships for the 10th consecutive year. This year, it will select Team USA for the World Road Running Championships. And then Wednesday night, we're thrilled to welcome back Ryan Krauser and the World Shot Put Series. And I can't wait to see Roger Steen with that big heavyweight championship belt as he takes the ring. And then we get ready for the track. Every athlete that's here tonight will be competing in Drake Stadium on Saturday, a 2-hour live broadcast nationally in the U.S. on CBS Sportsnet. And it's this same field, but on the men's side, we add Sam Kendricks, who's an Olympic medalist in his own right. So what a great week in Des Moines.
A couple of Hall of Famers going into the Drake Relays on the athlete side. 2 pole vaulters specifically, Sam Kendricks, as well as Sandy Morris, who's competing here tonight. And we have comments from her that you'll hear through this broadcast as well. Really fun to have them come back, continue to compete, and put on a show as Drake Relays Hall of Famers on Saturday.
That's right. They are 2 of the very best, not just in Drake Relays history or American pole vault history, but in the history of the world in pole vaulting. Just 2 iconic figures. Thrilled to celebrate them both. And of course, Sandy here tonight in the mall.
All right. plenty of reasons to get out to Drake Stadium this weekend and find all the fun events that are happening around the Drake Relays this week here in 2026. All right, we move the bar to 465. This is 15 feet 3 inches, and the first attempt for Chloe Timberg is in front of us. Timberg cleared 435, 445 on her first attempt and cleared 455 on her second attempt, and knocks the bar down here on her first attempt at 465. And we have sent Jeff Coover down. He is next to the runway and will be joining us through this competition. As Emily Grove, 3 clean jumps for her, and now will attempt 465.
Emily Grove will be up next for her first attempt at 15-3.
All right. Jeff, for Emily here, 3 clean jumps for her. When you hit those early marks, what's it do for your confidence moving forward?
Yeah, you just know you're grooved in. You know that everything is right, and you know the setup is good for you. She just bumps it a little bit on the way up there. The bar's getting up there pretty high, and so she's going to make some adjustments here, maybe to grip or the pole to get ready for the next one. But yeah, she's only 3 jumps in. You know, that was her 4th, so no worries about the energy exertion at all.
And 465, the USA Track and Field qualifying mark here of 15 feet and 3 inches. So Sandy Morris now with her second jump of the competition. She had a clean jump at 14 feet 11 inches and now ready for her first attempt at 15.3. Jeff, now that you're down inside the athlete pit with the music cranked, what are the vibes that you're feeling down there?
Oh man, I can tell the energy is really high down here. I mean, the claps are loud all the way to the back of the runway. The vibes are high. Everybody's really excited about how this competition is going so far. I did ask Sandy if she was making a pole change. She said that she was electing not to change poles. She was just going to try and clean up the jump a little bit. I did think that looked like a cleaner jump. She was really high in the air here, so.
Got over it cleanly, hit it on her way down. As we see the replay. And jumping up into the banner. From your vantage point down where the athletes are starting, is it hard to see the bar almost because you've got fans right behind it and a wall just about 15 feet behind that bar?
Yeah, you know, I think in between one of these jumps, I want to ask one of these guys if we can get the camera on us after one of these jumps, but what the feeling is like as they're leaving the ground, and you know, with the backdrop and everything, and whether they're having a hard time getting that dialed in or not. But it feels like everybody's jumping pretty well.
Yeah. Here's Katie Moon. And she is jumping well. She clears 465 on her first attempt.
Nice and smooth there. I don't know if you guys got the camera on me, but I got Zach Bradford here. We're curious about the setup and whether there's any issue or a feeling of, you know, the backdrop kind of rushing up on you, or if you feel pretty comfortable.
The first couple of jumps took a while to get used to because that wall is like right in the middle of the pit. You think you're going to hit it, but if you hit the wall, you're missing the pit. So it takes a little bit to get used to. The sun was right in our face in warm-ups, but it's gone now. So I think we're all getting used to it.
All right, so compared to your normal 14-step pulls, kind of where are you at in your series? Are you moving some good pulls, or how's it going?
I've never been on 510s from 7, or from 14, I guess. So I'm on my number 2 510 pull, which is usually what I start on from long running competitions. So yeah, runway's great, or I'm physically better, but we're moving big pulls.
Yeah, I can translate that and just tell you guys at home that means this is a really great place to jump. And Zach can jump 590 or higher tonight. So
I love it. I love it. Look forward to that. Timberg's second attempt.
That was a nice jump there for Chloe. Again, just really trying to shape herself around the bar and doing a nice job, coming pretty close to getting a make out of that.
Let's see the replay here of Timberg on her second attempt. We'll watch Emily Grove and Sandy Morris take their second attempts.
Grove's getting dialed in here.
Emily Grove, 2026 U.S. Indoor runner-up. 3 of her top 4 competitions have all come in the last 12 months. Her 3 best jumps, July, and August of 2025.
Oh, that was a close attempt. Hey, I think she'll be able to make a little adjustment and make that one. I got Katie Najat down here, Katie Moon, excuse me. Katie and I go way back, so she's still Najat to me, but Katie Moon with a nice first attempt clearance there.
Yep.
How we feeling?
Feeling good, yeah. First meet, you're a little like Bambi, just getting your legs under you, feeling things out, getting used to the adrenaline again, but feel good.
You know, the thing I noticed that I love, you're getting coached by Emily's coach.
Yep, Derek is the best. I feel like if I can't get coached by Brad, Derek is top tier. So, and Emily always jumps well when she jumps with my coach Brad, so it really is awesome when we get to share.
Okay, so we change the poles the next jump?
Yep, going up a pole, going up in grip.
Going up a pole, up in grip. Okay, so what's the expectation on this next jump?
Really just kind of replicate what I just did. That was finally a good controlled run, but powerful, and that was a blow-through make, so just do that again.
All right, let's go, let's go. This is a good place to get it done. So here we go, Sandy Morris coming up. Second attempt.
Second attempt at 465 for Sandy Morris. A busy week ahead, as we've mentioned, getting inducted into the Drake Relays Athletes Hall of Fame, and will compete again on Saturday with all of these competitors in the elite pole vault competition. And a pass, a good jump on attempt number 2 for Sandy Morris.
Really nice jump there by Sandy. She got her run really dialed in on that one. She was right where she wanted to be on the runway. Sometimes her mid-mark kind of halfway through the run can get a little bit inconsistent, but on that one it looked like she got right to where she wanted to get. Plenty of height over the bar, and she joins the party over 465.
All right, so we'll go back and have 2 more athletes attempt their third attempt. 465, Chloe Timberg and Emily Grove. On her third attempt.
Beauty there from Chloe, beauty from Chloe, right up and over it. She connected that one. I know I'm a broken record, right down the middle. We love to hear that. I got Cole Walsh here. Cole just bowed out at 565. I just want to hear from Cole about what this setup is like and what the atmosphere is like.
Oh, it's great. This is a really good board runway. Well put together. Feels solid yet springy. The tile floor and the mall is like it keeps it loud, you know, and that's always fun. It's like a loud venue, gets you fired up. Yeah.
Well, I felt like you had some really nice jumps tonight. We were kind of tracking as it went through. It looked like you got to some big poles. I had a prediction that if you made that 65 on a third, you were going to go over 75. So was that a pole that you felt like you could jump pretty high on?
Yeah, that pole is good for 80 plus. I've done 80 on that one before. Yeah, kind of a look inside the tactics. I thought I had to back up further than I really did. My pole was only taped so far down from the top and I had to raise my grip higher than I thought I would. I had more tape in my bag, but you know, I just thought, you know, let's grip up, and I backed up a little too far, and you know, you got to be lined up for that pole to work, so it didn't really work.
Well, he went for it. He went for it. That's just a testament to what these guys are trying to do here at the Drake Mall Vault. So, Cole, we appreciate the insight. That's awesome. You looked awesome today. So, good luck in the stadium.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah, it'll be fun.
Thank you, Jeff. 3 men, 3 women still alive. Emily Grove bows out on her 3rd attempt of 465. Back with more. The vault at Jordan Creek after this on MC22.
Hi, I'm Chris from Fireplace Superstore. Outdoor furniture season is here, and we've got you covered with the best selection in Central Iowa. We're featuring Poly Furniture by Berlin Gardens. Once you've seen the fit, finish, quality, and materials of Berlin Gardens Poly Furniture, it makes everything else look like it was built in somebody's backyard. We also have Iowa's best selection of aluminum, wicker, wrought iron, cushion, and sling. Fireplace Superstore, just west of Homemakers at 109th and Douglas.
Future vaulters looking on here inside Jordan Creek as pole vault competition of the Drake Relays. The vault at Jordan Creek, the bar to 475. Chris Nilsson's first attempt into the bar.
Certainly getting to the business end of things here at 575. It looked like a decent jump from Chris. I think he'd be okay with that jump. He just needs to make a little adjustment to make the height be in the right place compared to where the bar is. He kind of just ticked that one on the way up a little bit, but I think that's a jump that he'd feel pretty good about, and that he can make a little change here with his coach and sneak over the next one.
And Jeff, that's his first miss too. 3 clean jumps to start the competition.
Yeah, I can't tell you how big that is, just conserving energy, making sure you're only 3 jumps in, going to 5.75 meters. That's huge. He has no worries about energy consumption or anything like that. So, yeah, he's in a great spot to take a bunch more attempts.
Zach Bradford's in a similar boat. Passed on 535, missed on his first attempt at 550, but then back-to-back clean jumps at 550 and 565. Now an attempt at 575 for Zach Bradford.
Oh, he thought he left that one up there. Barely gave it a little tick. You know, in our little interview, he let me know that this is the first time he's used 16.9 poles, 16-foot long, 9-inch poles from this run. So that's definitely a testament to how good this setup is and what the energy is like down here. So he knows he's on some poles he can jump pretty high on for sure.
And just the slightest graze on the way up. And so Bradford will get ready for his second attempt as Casey Lightfoot will take his first crack at 575. As the defending champion, Jeff, is there any added pressure for Casey to show up here at Jordan Creek?
Oh, for sure. I mean, I don't know about pressure, but I definitely think that as the defending champion, you're feeling kind of like this is my house, you know? He knows he's got this setup dialed in. He doesn't want to come back here not as the 2-time defending champion. So I definitely think that, you know, he's got that on his mind, that he has, you know, he's kind of the king of the Jordan Creek Mall at this point with that 590 jump, and he's definitely thinking about that.
He knows how the crowd will assist him and how he can play into it. It's his first attempt.
Yeah, the clap is nice and loud back here. You can tell everybody's way into it. And you know, one thing you gotta keep in mind as a vaulter in a setup like this with the energy like this is to kind of keep it in 4th gear out of the back and not gun it too hard and kind of run out of steam at the end of the run. No problem. I tell you what, he is earning the title of King of Jordan Creek Mall. First attempt, make it 575, looked smooth and easy. Really good. So
He will move on to 583, which will be over 19 feet, will be the next bar. Casey Lightfoot will jump at, as Chris Nilsson getting ready for his second attempt. Chris, a PR over 6 meters, a 6:05 jump back in 2022. The season best to the 2026 U.S. Indoor Championships, 585. Two-time Olympian, a silver in 2021 at the Tokyo Games.
I got Casey here. Casey, first one over 575. How are we feeling?
I feel great. I'm having a good time. Just kind of getting in the groove.
Yeah, I've kind of started a little bit of chatter about the king of Jordan Creek Mall. That might be a thing, king of Jordan Creek Mall. Is that something that you're thinking you want to take home with you?
I mean, I'll take the title, but yeah, it's all right.
590 here before. Yeah. Clean, nice and easy over 575. Things are looking good for you. You love this setup, huh?
Yeah, no, it's a lot of fun. It's a unique experience, and I think that's why we're having a good time.
Any adjustments going to 583?
Just try to jump a little bit better, I guess. But other than that, no, we're going to stick with the same thing.
Jump better. That's expert advice. Expert advice. We love it. We love it. I have a feeling he's got that one in the tank.
It could be a coach as he moves forward. What do you need to do? Just jump better. All right, so Zach Bradford, his second attempt now. Bradford cleared his first attempt at 565. This is his second attempt at 575.
Another one just barely brushing it on the way up. He's got decision to make now, whether he thinks he can put a little cleaner jump together to stay away from the front side of the bar, or if he needs to make a pole change. I'm gonna try to get that info for us.
And Jeff, as switching to different poles, you're talking both length and stiffness are your options?
Yeah, those are the two options. Generally, an athlete wouldn't want to change the length of the pole during the competition. So I'm assuming that he started on his 16.9 poles, and he's just going to use a little stiffer one as it goes along. You'd really like to keep the series the same length and just change basically how hard it is to bend when you're taking off. So let's see. I can tell looking at him that he's kind of
racking his brain,
those two
isn't
moves,
he?
whether
Yeah.
he wants to change poles or whether he thinks he can do some fancy footwork to make that pole work for that height, because he knows probably that the next pole will work for the next couple of heights, but whether he can just survive the gauntlet here at 575 and get over this one.
Looks like he does grab a different pole.
I just saw him grab a different pole. I think that's the right move. I really do. If he can just replicate either of those first two jumps with a little stiffer pole, I think that's going to be the ticket. Going up, bringing the standards in. That's what I was hoping you would do, just so you know. Just so you know.
The rest 70. I didn't feel like going to 80, so I go out, bring him in 65.
There we go. So he told me his standards were 70 centimeters past the box, and instead of leaving the pole the same and pushing the standards back to 80, he's going to inch him into 65 and use a stiffer pole. I could always be wrong, but I do think that that's the right move if he can put kind of the same jump together.
All right, third attempt now. Chris Nilsson gets his started third attempt at 575. And Nilsson unable to get over on his third attempt.
Pretty close one there, but you can tell Chris feels pretty good about his jumping today. He had some really good attempts. All of his jumps looked really clean. Couldn't quite sneak over that 575 bar, but he's thanking the officials. We always love to see that. A lot of hard work. Getting that bar up to 1810 is no easy task, and these guys are getting it up there real quick between attempts. So Chris doing the right thing, thanking his officials, already looking at the video with his coach, seeing what he needs to do going into Drake Stadium on Saturday.
Yeah, and Chris Nielsen, 2022 Drake Relays champion. That was his last visit to Des Moines, and he's a Midwest guy. Went to South Dakota, 3-time NCAA champion. He knows that the Midwest crowd and the Drake Stadium crowd is going to be electric on Saturday. So now third attempt for Zach Bradford at 575. Third attempt for Bradford. The U.S. indoor champion this season, up and over.
I like it when they make me look smart.
Switch the pole, clear the bar.
You know, that's always hard. Changing poles on a third attempt is a really difficult thing to do, and you have to be really dialed in. You have to be really confident in your pole series and your jump and your takeoff, and you know where you're starting your run and everything, just to make sure that you know you're rolling the dice on that third attempt changing poles. But he's, like I said, he's just been so consistent that he knew that one was going to work. And as you saw probably on the replay, I don't have a monitor in front of me, but he was way up and over that height. So kind of as I said before, you know, he knew he was going to need that next pole to jump the next two heights. And so now he's got the right pole in his hands going up to 583.
So he will advance to 583. Just two men remain with Zach Bradford and Casey Lightfoot, and three women still in the competition. Chloe Timberg, Sandy Morris, and Katie Moon. As the women will be attempting 475, 15 feet 7 inches. As all three have cleared 465. USA track and field qualifying mark. And so a clean pass at this height, Jeff, will give the women an opportunity to reset the mall record, which is 482. If they pass if they clear 475, they will get an attempt at 483.
Yeah, and you know, between these three girls, this is kind of the three girls that I figured would be still in it at this height. And between these three girls, I feel really good about our chances of getting a clearance here and subsequently some jumps at that mall vault record.
Chloe Timberg ranked 19th in the world. Sandy Morris number 2, Katie Moon number 1. All three in the competition here. First attempt, 475 and a bailout.
This height is one where you really got to have everything dialed in, and you know they're on their stiffest poles now, and you know, if something's just a little bit off, it kind of throws the whole thing off, and you got to have those perfect jumps at these higher heights, and you know that's why you get 3 at it.
So this is 475. Chloe, she cleared 470, her season best at the 2026 U.S. Indoor Championships when she won it. Her PR is 471. So this is taking a crack at a new PR for Chloe Timberg. But on the stage now, Sandy Morris. She has the American record of 5 meters. It's back in 2016, 10-year anniversary of clearing 5 meters.
Yeah, and I know that that's something that's on her list this year. She wants to get back up over that 5-meter height.
Here's attempt number 1,
Gosh,
475.
So she told me this is her money pole. This is her favorite pole in the bag. She's going to stick with it as long as she can. She thinks she can jump 80 on this pole, 480 that is. So That was a really nice run. Like, the run just looked really smooth and aggressive and balanced on that. She went right down the middle. Nice first attempt to make it 475. I mean, we're at heights now that you could talk about winning Diamond League meets at. So this is serious stuff.
First jump clearance, 475. That's 15 feet 7 inches for Sandy Morris. It's a current world ranking of #2, behind only this woman, Katie Moon, ranked #1. Her PR, 495. She'll take her first attempt at 475.
Yeah, for real.
Katie Moon's first attempt.
Pretty close, just a little tickle on the way down. She's got to smooth out that takeoff. Hey, I got Zach Bradford here. Zach, pole change on the third attempt. As a coach, not something we love to do. You feel okay about a pole change? I thought it was the right move, but you know, is that something you typically do?
No, it's not something I typically do. Usually you want to stay calm on the third attempt and just keep everything the same, move standards a little bit. I talked to my dad, he's coaching me today. I said, do we go 80, same pole, or I go up pole and go 65? And he's like, you're not making it on that smaller pole. I said, all right, we're going up. And it's just, you got to trust the coach. As my dad known me ever since I started vaulting, you got to trust it. Yep. You got to trust yourself, and obviously made it work.
So you're now on a pole. He said it was 1 pole smaller than what he jumped 6 meters on from 18 steps. And today he's on 14 steps. So, I mean, we're rolling.
Yeah, we're rolling. I'm just trying to keep the cues the same, keep everything simple, just get tall at takeoff, and yeah, we'll see where we can go today.
Let's go, baby. I love it.
All right, thank you. Great insight there. And now we get ready for the second attempt by Chloe Timberg. This is attempt #2 at 475, looking for a new PR. Second attempt.
Oh, that was a closer jump. Obviously, she had a bail on the first one. I wonder if she changed poles between 65 and 75. It's just taken her a couple to trust it, but that was a lot better jump there, and she's got one more. And she can put her jump together with her bar awareness. I think she can get up and over this one. This is a PR height, so she's got to feel good jumping at a PR.
Anytime you get to attempt a PR, you're in a good space. And Jeff, you're a coach at the University of Northern Iowa. You have athletes hit PRs as well as college just getting into outdoor season. Carter Morton, one of your prized athletes there at the University of Northern Iowa, decathlon competitor, making a big jump in the pole vault recently.
Yeah, Carter's done a really nice job. He just learned the pole vault in college, came with no knowledge of the event, and he's gone up to 17 feet, 520, which in the decathlon world is kind of all you need to do. So he's established himself as a really, really good pole vaulter in his own right. He qualified for the Drake Relays this weekend to jump in the college division. So he's done an amazing job in the pole vault, and while you know, learning 9 other events as well. So yeah, it's been fun.
The assignment for any vaulters or aspiring vaulters, get dialed into this event here, as we've got some elite competition and athletes. Katie Moon, her second attempt at 475.
She said her run is feeling a little inconsistent. I know she's only done 1 or 2 long run practices coming into this, so she's just trying to feel out the run. I thought the run looked a little more open, a little bit bigger on that one, so she might have gotten a little bit close at the takeoff. And when that takeoff's a little bit close with the kinds of poles that these ladies are planting, it definitely doesn't feel right. And when it doesn't feel right and the bar is up at 475, you just kind of need to bail on the attempt. So hopefully she get herself into the right spot on this third attempt. I think she's on a pole that she can jump that height on if she can catch a clean takeoff.
And Jeff, talk through that training process too. A lot of the athletes, when they train, they start with shorter runways and you're working on technique, right? And then you extend out to your full length run.
Yeah, that's right. When you're in a practice, a lot of times you'll use a shortened approach. It's less energy exerted, so you can take more jumps. You know, most of these guys would probably go 2 short approach practices for every one full approach practice. Katie's long enough into her career and is so dialed in with her run, especially as the season goes on, that she doesn't need to do a whole lot of long run practices. She kind of uses her meets as the time to get her run dialed in. So she practices a lot off of short runs and then just comes to the meet, kind of get a spot that works and kind of compete her way into some better consistent runs.
All right, Chloe Timberg now ready for her third attempt at a PR, 15 feet 7 inches.
Oh.
Yeah, 3 good attempts at it for Chloe Timberg, who finishes in third here at the vault at Jordan Creek.
You can tell she felt better about each of those 3 attempts. They got better as she went along there. I don't know if that's one of the bigger pulls that she has in her bag, but she's got to feel pretty good about how that meet went, coming away third place in an unbelievably high quality field here at the Jordan Creek Mall. She's got to feel good about that. And I know the first thing on her mind is how excited she probably is to jump in the stadium later in the week.
Yeah, third place when first and second battled between Sandy Morris and Katie Moon, and Katie Moon has a third attempt here at 475 to try and join Sandy Morris at 483, our next height. Katie Moon competed at Ashland University, won 2 Division II NCAA titles, and just continues to explode through the professional ranks. Olympic champion in Tokyo, silver medalist in Paris in 2024. A 3-time world champ. Here's attempt number 3 at 475.
Stay on there.
She hits it. It stays up there. The white flag is up, and Katie Moon will move on to 483.
That was a beautiful run. I still think she's a little close at takeoff, which is a good thing because we go to 483. She gets it dialed in. I think she can go ahead and make it.
We have Sandy Morris and Katie Moon now will attempt a Jordan Creek Mall record. Here's another look at it. Got up and over, just grazed it on the way down. It bounces and hangs on. So Sandy Morris and Katie Moon, the top 2 pole vaulters in the world. More attempts coming here from Jordan Creek Mall, part of Drake Relays Week in Des Moines.
"30 years ago, the internet was barely a thing. But the beginning of everything. At Mediacom, we've been here. Every single step, stride, and slide along the way. And for as much as the internet has changed, we've changed. The speed and size of our network, the performance of our technology, the scale and power of our security. Investing in the growth of our communities, and keeping you ready for what's next. See you there.
Jordan Creek Town Center, home of department stores, jewelry stores, food court, movie theater, and the vault at Jordan Creek. 2026, it returns after a dynamite event in 2024. We continue here 2026, and an elite field is upon us, and 2 athletes remain in both the men and women's competition, and Zach Bradford will have the first attempt at 583. This is 19 feet 1.5 inches, and attempt number 1 for the 2026 U.S. Indoor Champion. He finished 5th at the World Championships this year.
Little bump on the way up, little off balance. Hey, I got Chloe Timberg down here. I got Chloe. Chloe just exited the competition at 475, and Chloe, you're jumping at a PR at the end there. Yeah, and tell me about how your competition went today and how you felt about it.
Yeah, I mean, I think for first meet outdoor, it's a great start. I was feeling a little bit kind of funky with my jumps towards the end of indoor, so to come out here and jump a 65 bar, first meet of the season, I think that really sets a good tone, and it gives us a lot to kind of work with and, you know, just go back to the drawing board when I get back home. So
Yeah, and as a pole vaulter, that 465 jump, I have to say, looks really, really nice. That one had to feel good, right?
Yeah, that was probably one of my best put together jumps in a while in a competition, so I think that in itself is a win.
Okay, good. And as far as your poles and your equipment and stuff, you think you're on poles you can jump pretty high on right now?
Yeah, so that's actually something that we're working on, or I'm working on with my coach, is getting to those bigger sticks. Right now I'm on 430 poles, they're 14-foot poles, so long term we want to try and get to the 14.7s. And I think it's kind of meets like this where I feel really confident in my run and I'm hitting big poles that's going to help contribute to that transition in the long run. So yeah.
Well, for you guys at home, 14-foot poles jumping over 15 feet, you know, 8 inches down in the box, so you're probably holding 13 feet effectively, jumping 15.3, pushing over 2 feet. Incredible, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So, awesome job. Congratulations. And jumping later in the week in the stadium as well. Excited?
Saturday. I'm very excited. It's my first time here, so.
Well, welcome to Des Moines. Thank you for being here. Congratulations. Great job, Chloe. Way to go.
All right. Thank you very much, Jeff. As Casey Lightfoot gets ready for his first attempt at 583. Casey Lightfoot, his PR, the American record 6:07. His season best in early February, he jumped 591. This is an attempt at 583. And Jeff, watch his pole. As his pole goes up, I notice he nearly hits the ceiling as he begins his approach here at Jordan Creek Mall.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say. You just can't really, you can't replicate it. It's incredible. I mean, again, probably the only thing on the back of their minds is not to get too hyped up and gas it too hard out of the back. You really got to stay relaxed because there's so much energy.
Casey Lightfoot off
really
to the
close.
right and
really close.
Just about had it.
You can tell he's kind of standing in the pit just a little confused. He was like, I didn't feel like I touched that hard. But you always like one that's close like that and then he just barely grazed it on the way over and the way through. It's an easy adjustment as a pole vaulter to get yourself to basically not travel quite as far into the pit. That's an easy adjustment to make. When you're going way up in the air and you're crashing down on the bar, it can be a little bit more difficult. You got to do a little bit more technical changes or equipment changes or whatever. When you just barely graze it on the way up and you still almost make a bar like 583, you know, that's a problem that you can usually solve.
Casey Lightfoot talking through his first attempt at 583 as Zach Bradford gets ready for his second attempt at 583. Zach Bradford has a 6:01 jump this season. Fourth best jump in the world, the 2026 U.S. Indoor Champion. Took 5th at the World Indoor Championships. He was 8th at the World Outdoor Championships in 2023. Oh, and he clears it. Zach Bradford came to play.
Beautiful jump there by Zach. 583 with plenty of room to spare. Right down the middle, right over the middle of the bar. You know, we love that. And man, you know, 2 years ago we were here and I remember watching Casey jump 590 thinking, I don't know if anybody's going to be able to replicate that, but Zach, when he catches one, when he gets one, he just goes so high in the air. I mean, he was so high over that 583. Now I'm thinking that 591 might be possible by more than one of these guys.
Well, he's going to get an attempt at it, and these were our last two competitors in 2024. Bradford was the runner-up to Casey Lightfoot. And they are the final two competitors here in 2026. And now Casey Lightfoot will jump, seeing Zach Bradford clear on his second attempt. Lightfoot, the 2025 Drake Relays champion in the Saturday competition. Cleared 570 to win the Drake White Flag. Also won the Elite Drake Relays title in 2024, just a few days after he won the vault at Jordan Creek event. So Jeff, as we get down to where there's just 2 athletes remaining, they want to get a good amount of rest between their attempts and make sure that they're ready to go.
Yeah, they're really smart about this, about energy conservation. You know, they get a 2-minute clock, and we're already down to 55 seconds or so, and he's kind of just starting his routine. So you notice just how smart they are with how they get through a competition, and they know they get that whole clock, and he's going to use all of it and make sure that he's conserving his energy for sure and not going too quick. A big problem that a lot of novice vaulters make is as soon as the clock starts, they start their run, and you just got to make sure that you're really ready to go when there's only a couple of them left.
Casey Lightfoot, world ranking number 14 in the world, 26-year-old.
Down to 10 seconds he starts his run. He knows what he's doing.
Second attempt at 583. Wants to bail out of it.
That was a pretty good jump. The only one of these ladies we haven't talked to yet, Sandy Morris. I got Sandy here. Sandy, she's got her own video. She's taking a video of me, and we're getting a video taken of us. Sandy, jumping awesome. Obviously up and over 475 on a first attempt.
Yep.
Awesome jumping. How are things feeling? Talk us through it.
Good. I dialed in my run finally. Things were kind of all over the place there at the beginning, but stopped coming off the pole like a flying squirrel and cleaned it up and put a bomb over that. So let's do that again.
So for the novice vaulters at home, being a flying squirrel, not a good thing? Flying squirrel is no good.
My signature move is the flying squirrel, but I do try to look a little more, dialed in, clean, like a missile, guided missile and stuff, just like I saw in those races.
Guided missile versus flying squirrel. Well, you say you want to look better over the bar, but don't do it for us. All we care about is that bar stays up there. There's no style points in this.
This is true, and everybody loves a little bar love because that just keeps everybody on the edge of their seats. So, I'll take bar love any day.
Okay, so we go to 483. Any adjustments you need to make this bar?
Just come in and hit it like a freight train. That's it.
You might notice there's some pretty simple phrasing going along with these guys. I forget who it was, said they needed to do a better jump. That was good advice. Sandy's up. Here we go. All right. We're going to kick it over to the women's comp. We're going up to 483. So I guess.
Yeah, 483.
It sounds like Casey's going to pass his last attempt to a higher height. We're going to roll the dice on that, which I love. And we're going back over to the women.
All right, so 2 women remain here with Sandy Morris and Katie Moon. So Sandy Morris, this would be a mall record as well, 483, which is 15 feet 10 inches. The mall record, 482, 15 feet 9 3/4 inches.
Confirmation from Casey that he's going to take his last attempt at 591. He's going to roll the dice. He'll only get one at that, but he must be on it, feeling like he's got things dialed in enough that if he puts a good jump together, he can get over that 91 and take that lead back and make sure that he doesn't relinquish the Jordan Creek Mall King status that he has.
All right, we're going to recap our competition here so far as we await Sandy Morris's first attempt at 483. 83. We go all the way back to Matt Ludwig, who takes 6th place on his 3 attempts at 5:35. Annika Newell of Canada 5th in the women's competition. And Jacob Wooten unable to continue. He'll actually finish 4th based on clearing 5:50 cleanly. Cole Walsh 5th place as he cleared 5:50 as well. Back to the women's side. Emily Grove 3 clean jumps at 4:35, 4:45, and 4:55. Chris Nilsson 3 clean jumps to start and unable to get up over 4:75. And then Chloe Timberg, who cleared 4:65, attempted a PR bar of 4:75, unable to get up and over. And so we have 2 women remain and 2 men remain. Sandy Morris, as you see here, set for her first attempt of 4:83. On the women's side, it is world number 1 versus world number 2. Sandy Morris, number 2, and Katie Moon, number 1. Battling for honors of the vault at Jordan Creek title here, all part of the Drake Relays.
World number 1 versus world number 2 at the Jordan Creek Mall on a Monday. You gotta love it. This is what Drake Relays Week is all about. This is what brings the athletes back. This is what brings the fans in. It's just so cool to see this kind of a showdown in the pole vault world. This is the stuff you dream of. Sandy versus Katie. I mean, this is the World Championships final, the Olympic final, in front of a bunch of clapping, screaming fans in Des Moines, Iowa. It's pretty cool.
Sandy Morris, Olympic silver medalist in 2016. She holds the Drake Relays record of 16 feet. That was set in 2016. She won the Capitol Square pole vault crown in 2016 and 2017. This is an attempt at the Jordan Creek Mall record, 483.
Pretty close attempt there. Plenty of height. Just came crashing down on it a little bit. You can tell that she's kind of making a motion to her dad, who's coaching her today, that she needs to clean up the takeoff and be a little bit more elastic through the takeoff. Sometimes she gets a little bit stuck and a little bit rigid through the takeoff, especially when she switches poles. So, you know, the nice thing is she knows the technical adjustment that she needs to make this height on this pole. She just needs to execute the takeoff just a little bit cleaner.
Sandy Morris getting some guidance. She'll have 2 more attempts at 483. And her competitor Katie Moon has 3 attempts of 483 remaining. This is her first attempt. An Olympic champion, a gold medalist in 2021 in Tokyo, a silver medalist in 2024.
That was really close. That was really close. That was a nice jump by Katie. You know, Katie is behind on misses at this point, so should neither of them be able to clear 483, Sandy would go home with the win. So after Sandy misses on a first, as a vaulter, you're looking at that as the door being open for you. If you make that height on the first attempt, you retake the lead. So the door was open for her there, and she got pretty hyped up, pretty amped up. You could tell that she saw that there was an opportunity and just barely knocked it off on the way up.
And Jeff, we talked about how these athletes want to see their competitors do well as well. It only elevates the sport of pole vaulting even more when you have big performances in fun environments just like this.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, this now is a height that you would expect to potentially get a medal at a World Championships or an Olympics. Kind of that 83 to 85 range is definitely the medal heights. And so now we're in a territory where, you know, either of these girls go over this bar, and they've certainly earned it, and they know that the other one of them had a fantastic day and that they just had a better one. So this is now teed up for both of these girls to go ahead and snatch a win on a day that both of them are jumping really well.
This athlete's getting ready for attempt number 2 at 483. And I'm being handed a note. The indoor world best here in 2026 right now is 481, which is 15 feet 9 1/4 inches by Eliza McCartney of New Zealand. So not only is this a mall record, this would be a 2026 world indoor best vault. Sandy Morris with her second attempt. Remember, Jeff, we talked about the prize structure of this, a $1,000 bonus if you go beyond the existing event record.
Just a little cherry on top.
Just a little cherry on top. The record 482. This is an attempt at 483.
Oh, that was close. Kind of the same kind of miss that Katie had there, where she just barely brushed it on the way up. Like I said, these are medal type heights here, so they really got to get things dialed in. And again, neither of these gals have competed much, if at all, in 2026. And you know, they're jumping really good considering the fact that this is their season opener. And I've said it a million times, but it's just a testament to how good the energy is in here. You usually don't get this kind of result out of a pole vaulter in their first meet of the season. Usually there's a big adjustment and learning period when you know you're dealing with a different version of yourself each year. And so for these girls to be doing this in their first meet of the year is really fantastic.
Opener for Sandy Morris, it was mid-September 2025. World Championships in Tokyo, cleared 485 and took second place at the World Championships. And this is 483. And now Katie Moon for her second attempt.
Another close one.
Yep. So now both Sandy Morris and Katie Moon down to one final attempt here at 483. What did you see in that last attempt by Katie Moon?
I thought that looked like a pretty good run. She mentioned to me that she felt like the weight in between jumps was making it so that she was a little bit too far out on her first attempts as she waited for the boys and got a little bit cold. That looked like a better run to me and more open and free, but it looked like she just got herself a little close and jammed at the takeoff. And you know, when she takes off a little under, she's kind of always a little bit under, but when she takes off too far under and she gets jammed like that, she generally gets kicked off to the left just a little bit. And so she was just a little off balance in the air, but I think she has such a good feel for her run that she's going to make that adjustment on the next one and find a way to get herself a little bit more free off the ground and get it down the middle. So she's feeling like she's kind of falling out at it a little bit, not finishing the jump, but we don't want to bother her too much. But what's the thought on the third attempt?
Just like actually cranked to the shin, so I'm getting into it well, but then I'm just getting excited and want to go out and clear the bar. I need to just drop under, get back, and go up past the bar.
So just kind of trust it. Know that the bar's going to be a little bit far away and just go anyway, right?
Yeah, just be a good pole vaulter, which doesn't always happen. So.
That's 3 for 3 on really good phrasing and good simple stuff. We've had a jump better and hit it like a freight train and be a good pole vaulter. These are the thoughts that are going through these guys' mind. That just shows you how dialed in they are. They just need to keep it simple and get in the flow.
So 483 is the height for Sandy Morris and Katie Moon, as they both have one final attempt at 483 for an indoor world best in 2026 and a Jordan Creek Mall record. Sandy Morris. Third attempt. Oh, and it looked good. Sandy Morris, though.
Definitely her best jump of the day, and sometimes in the pole vault world that can lead to a miss. The pole just got a little bit soft and she just bumped it on the way up. That was definitely her most free run and takeoff of the day, and then because of how well she executed that, the pole just got a hair soft. She might feel like she could have finished a little cleaner on the top of that jump, but man, I would be shocked if she didn't feel like she had a great day here and put together some really good jumps and ended on kind of a positive note. Even when you go out on a miss like that, if you can finish your meet on a miss like that where, you know, the run and takeoff are super good and you just barely brush the bar and bar at 483. It's not 450, you know?
Yeah.
Barely brush a bar at 483 like that on the way up. You go away from this taking a lot of positives.
Yeah, great start to a very busy week for Sandy Morris. She'll be inducted into the 2026 Drake Relays Athletes Hall of Fame on Wednesday and will be inside Drake Stadium on Saturday to compete in the elite pole vault competition. This field of 5 athletes, and they'll include some additional world-class ranked pole vaulters. Katie Moon now gets ready for her third attempt at 483. For Katie Moon, if she clears it, she will win the vault at Jordan Creek. If she does not, she will take runner-up honors to Sandy Morris.
So close. Truly, you know, the announcer just said it, but what he said is true. That were 6 amazing jumps at that height.
Yeah.
All 6 of them were really close and could have stayed on, so I feel like she's gonna do the same as Sandy, walk away feeling like that was a really, really positive meet, and she's got a lot of good things to take away from that.
All right, so Sandy Morris gets the win at the vault at Jordan Creek. Katie Moon, runner-up honors. Excellent pole vaulting happening in Jordan Creek. 6 great attempts there at a bar 483. That is 15 feet and 10 inches. We'll be back with more of the 2026 vault at Jordan Creek, all part of the Drake Relays.
Dear future, we're on a mission to make small-town America bigger than anyone ever dreamed. We know you're coming for us fast and that you can easily change the tech game overnight. That's why at Mediacom, we're always pushing the limits, increasing speeds, improving reliability, working around the clock to monitor the health and security of our network. We're on a mission, and we'll do whatever it takes to make it happen. Sincerely, Mediacom.
Power to get the job done. Technology to make it easier. Tried and tested quality to keep you moving forward. The only thing left to add is you. Then you'll understand how life is better on a Honda.
For Honda ATVs, Hawkeye Motorworks in Davenport. HawkeyeMotorworks.com.
Drake Bulldog fans, track and field fans, I'll get a little extra shopping in. Pole vaulting at the Jordan Creek Town Center as the women's pole vault field concludes with Sandy Morris, world ranked #2 pole vaulter, holds off Katie Moon, top ranked world pole vaulter, as they attempted 483. And great starts to their season, and a busy week in Des Moines. Both athletes will be vaulting on Saturday inside Drake Stadium at the Drake Relays. So now Zach Bradford will take the first attempt at 591. Bradford with a world ranking of number 9 in the pole vault.
Well, while I have her here, Sandy Morris, your champion of the Drake Mall Vault. How'd you feel today?
I felt awesome, man. It's so good to be out here competing. You know, I got my sparkly jersey on to give you guys listening the visual. I bedazzled my top myself. I'm a DIY girly, you know.
There we go.
So
we can see it
I'm
now.
out here to sparkle. Whether I jump well or not, I'm going to look good. And that always makes you jump better, in my opinion.
And they can see you, just so you know, through this camera right here. So everybody's admiring the sparkle. Everyone's admiring the sparkle. I love it. All right. So went out at 483, made 475. Season opener, that's pretty solid, right?
Heck yeah, I'm very pleased with that season opener, but it's good that I'm coming away hungry. You know, I didn't do indoor season. I made that decision with my coach, and I'm feeling healthy now. I was fighting off a shoulder problem that I've been dealing with for 3 years. And guys, if an athlete tells you they're not dealing with anything, they are lying. Like, everybody has a little something going on, whether they're letting the world know or not. And I'm happy to say that something is mostly gone, and I'm feeling very, very strong. So I'm pleased with today's season opener, and I just want to build on it.
Well, just for 10 seconds, I sung your new coach's praises up there, and just how incredible she is working with vaulters like yourself. Just one quick blurb about your new coach.
Man, yeah, I joined, Brooke Rasnick is her name. She coaches at the University of Louisville, and I moved there just last season, just over a year ago, and it was the best decision that I've made in my career. Like, I am so pleased with that decision, and I think she's going to help bring the best out of me, and hopefully, you know, a few more good years of pole vaulting. I truly believe that.
I absolutely love it. Brooke is like my favorite coach in the United States right now. So
Real deal.
incredible job with Sandy and the rest of them. Brooke, she's got like 3 girls over 15 feet right now. Unbelievable.
Yes.
We're going to see the end of this men's competition, but we'll see you on Saturday in the mall, Friday, or in the stadium Saturday?
In the stadium. We can come back in here if you want. I mean, I'll take it. I'll take the mall vault a second time. You know?
Great job, Sandy. Way to go. All right, let's go.
All right. Yeah, the energy in here is great. And Jeff, Casey Lightfoot, remember, had 2 misses at 583, passed. This is his final attempt at 591, and this would be a mall record, as he owns the mall record of 590 that he jumped in 2024. So the only attempt here at 591 for Casey Lightfoot. Oh, he had to have it, and he delivered.
He takes the gamble, and it pays off. Rolls the dice, and they come up 6s. You gotta love that. Past that 3rd attempt, waited 15 minutes, comes down the runway, boom. King of Jordan Creek Mall. He's trying to hold on to that title. 591, incredible, what a jump. Gave it a little tickle on the way up, little tickle on the way down, just like you want to, and stayed right up.
Here's another look, and man, the excitement after he cleared that one.
Yeah, he was fired up, you know. That goes down as a first attempt, make it 591. So technically now with Zach sitting on a miss, even if he makes this, he's behind on the scorecard. So Casey knows he just forced Zach to jump even higher than this if he wants to come away with the mall vault crown.
So 591 cleared by Casey Lightfoot. That is 19 feet, 4 3/4 inches. The next height would be 596, would be 19 feet, 6.5 inches. So Jeff, if you're in Zach Bradford's corner, let's let him attempt this second attempt at 591. He jumped 601 at the 2026 U.S. Indoor Championships.
Everything he could do to leave that one up there. You can tell he wants it. He's so good at the top of the jump, knowing where the bar is and knowing how to even touch it with his body to hold the bar onto the pegs, and he almost did it on that one. That was a really close jump.
And so 2 misses here at 591 for Zach Bradford. As we get another look at it, he was runner-up back in 2024 to Casey Lightfoot in this Jordan Creek event. He then finished 3rd on Saturday inside the stadium.
So 3 minutes on the clock now. 3 minutes on the clock, and he's probably going to try to use all of it. Make sure that he's getting ready for the 3rd attempt.
Yeah.
I'm going to come down here and sit crisscross applesauce with Katie Moon.
I'm asking Brad.
You're asking Brad if you did a good job or not. I'm sitting down here in the. Okay, good. I'm sitting down here in the athlete zone with Katie. Katie's 2nd place here at the Drake Mall. How'd you feel about your jumping?
Good. I felt great. This was so much fun. You never know what you're going to get first meet, and I was saying to them, usually my first meet I clear 1, maybe 2 bars because the difference between practice and competition is so different. I felt really consistent on the runway, and I felt like each one I got more and more dialed in, so that's all you could ask for.
So on the live broadcast, I said that your 3rd attempt at 483 was your best jump of the day. Do you agree?
The 3rd attempt? Yeah, for sure. I had space, like not to get too technical, but I like to usually be too close, which at the takeoff, which affects your whole angle of the jump. And I had space the way I should, so it was a really good day, yeah.
You say not to get too technical, but this is a pole vault broadcast. We probably got a lot of pole vaulters watching, so you can go ahead and get as technical as you want to. So you said you were 11.4 takeoff on the last one. That's pretty far away for you.
Yes, so in a perfect world, I probably want to be closer to 12, but considering like most of my life, I'm inside 11. Like
I've seen Katie make a lot of high jumps from 10.10. I'll tell you that much. So the 11.4 is pretty good.
I think, yeah. So to feel comfortable with the space and to jump through it, like it's a good day.
All right. Well, I'm going to see if my old knees will let me stand up again. But great job. Congratulations, Katie.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Jeff. Zach Bradford, his 3rd attempt here at 591, already cleared by Casey Lightfoot on his 1st attempt. Zach Bradford up, and he hits it unable to get over 591, and so Zach Bradford will be runner-up once again.
Great jump. Another really good one by Zach. He's got to feel really good about that, especially off of a little bit of a shortened approach, trying out some different pulls from that short approach and almost leaving up 591. I did just talk to Casey. He is at least going to take 1 jump at 6 meters, which is the big barrier in the men's pole vault, obviously. Casey, already a member of the 6 meter club, and anytime you go over 90, you know, he kind of looked at me and said, I got to at least take 1 at it. So we'll see what we get. We'll see if he can put a close one on it and talk him into a couple more, but that 6 meter bar is a big one.
All right, Casey Lightfoot already your vault at Jordan Creek champion and has a mall record, and he will attempt 6 meters when we come back. More the Drake Relays vault at Jordan Creek after this.
If, like most people, you love your phone, like can't eat, can't sleep, can't not have it by your side,
My phone.
or you'll be totally lost,
Turn right.
kind of love, but you don't love your big cell phone bill or spotty reception, check out Mediacom Mobile. Unbeatable nationwide coverage on a reliable 5G mobile network. Plus, we've got some really incredible prices, too. Keep the phone you love, but love it even more. Mediacom Mobile.
Did you know that watching MC22 is now easier than ever before? I know, it's crazy, right? Crazy, Well, all Mediacom customers can watch local programming anytime online. Go to MC22.net, click Watch MC22, and log in with your Mediacom account. Not a Mediacom cable subscriber? That's fine. Mediacom internet or phone subscribers can watch too. Your local programming leader, MC22, online at mc22.net/watch.
Welcome back to the 2026 Vault at Jordan Creek. Drake Relays Week in Des Moines, and a world-class pole vault set up and competition happening inside Jordan Creek Town Center Shopping Mall. As Sandy Morris, who's going into the Drake Relays Athletes Hall of Fame this week, is your winner of the 2026 Vault at Jordan Creek. And the men's division, Casey Lightfoot defends his crown from 2024, wins it in 2026 as he cleared a new Jordan Creek Mall record, 591. That's 19 feet, 4 3/4 inches. And he will have an attempt at 6 meters coming up. And Jeff, you talked to him, you said he's at least gonna take a crack at 6 meters at least once. Is that what you heard?
Yeah. I mean, like I said, anytime you're over 590, I feel like 6 meters is just right there. And, you know, there's kind of a thing in the pole vault world. Not only have you made 6 meters, but how many times have you done it? So whenever you get to the tail end of a competition like this, and, you know, I feel like Casey did a nice job conserving his energy. He rattled off a couple first attempt makes in the middle of it there, and he hasn't taken too many jumps here today, so he should have a little bit left. And like I said, anytime you're over that 90 and you have the win, you got to at least put the bar up at 6 meters and give it a crack or two. So we'll see what we get out of this. Hopefully, you know, usually he's able to get up for stuff like this. And he jumped the American record, for example, in a meet where I think second place might have been about 560 or 570, and ended up going up and jumping 607. So he's pretty good at being self-motivated and just, you know, making sure that he keeps his levels up even when he knows he's got the wind sewed up. And I know that this crowd will help him to do that as well.
Well, and you don't always get great opportunities with an awesome, energetic environment to take an attempt at 6 meters and to convert it. For everybody listening at home, Casey cleared 591. That's 19 feet, 4 3/4 inches, 6 meters. He's bumping up to 19 feet, 8 1/4 inches as he attempts a 6 meter bar. Here in West Des Moines, I am Brad Wells, joined with Jeff Coover on the broadcast of this vault at Jordan Creek. Champion for both the men and women, earning $1,500. And Casey, improving the event record, gets a $1,000 bonus. And now it's just bragging rights. Now he wants a 6 meter jump here in April 2026.
I tell you what, 6 meters in a mall would rattle the track and field world. 591 in its own right is really something. Casey
Lightfoot uses all of the runway available here.
Man, it's loud down here.
He's asking for more. Here we go, 6 meters.
Oh my goodness, that was close. wow, that was a really lined up jump, and he got thrown really high up in the air there. Let's see what he decides to do. Take another one.
Here's another look at it. Yeah.
I'm begging for him to take another. He's calling it a day. You know, sometimes that's the right move. Obviously, selfishly, I want him to take another one, but man, that was a close attempt at 6 meters, and he can walk away from here right now healthy with the win, with the mall vault record, and with a really good attempt at 6 meters. Oh, they're putting the bar back up now. Right when I think I know what's going on, they're putting that bar right back up.
Trying to coax him into jumping it again here.
Yeah, I need to let him know how close that one was. Now he knows it. He felt it.
Yeah. Casey Lightfoot, current world ranking number 14 in the world. He's returning to Des Moines, won this event 2024 and now. And let's go back to Sandy Morris. Take a look at her winning jump. 475. Sandy Morris. This was her first attempt. And you could tell that jump, how excited she was. Jeff, hitting that first attempt too, it's just extra juice, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that's always icing on the cake for sure, is just knowing that you've gone over the bar and that you've taken control and command of the competition, especially that late in the competition. It's not just about, okay, I'm jumping really good and I'm in a good rhythm, but now you're starting to think about, all right, I'm ahead on the scorecard and I'm forcing girls to jump really, really, really high to beat me. So that's always an awesome feeling when you can sneak over one of those on a first attempt. So yeah, definitely.
Fans still hanging out, waiting at it. Fans on the ground level, on the second level of the mall. So many great angles to get of this pole vault setup.
Yeah, we got fans of all ages down here, a lot of kids getting involved, clapping, learning what pole vaulting is all about. I always laugh because, you know, a lot of these folks don't spend a lot of time around the pole vault, and they kind of walk into the mall to go to Shields or something, and all of a sudden, no, there's a crossbar up in the air, and you know, without a real deep knowledge, you wouldn't understand how serious this level of pole vaulting really is, and the fact that, you know, if you jump 6 meters in any competition in the world, you have a really good chance of winning, and that can be extended out to World Championships and Olympic Games. Obviously, we have Mondo Duplantis doing his thing on the world scene right now and making it so that 6 meters might only be good for second or third. There's another Greek vaulter that's tearing it up, but you know, this is a height that you feel like if you make it, you got a chance of winning basically any meet in the world. And you know, these folks walk in and the bar's up there, and you know, I just want to walk around to each and every one of them individually and let them know how crazy this stuff is as a pole vaulter.
Yeah. Let's take a look now at Casey Lightfoot's winning jump. This was his first attempt at 591, and he had 2 misses at 583 and then passed up to 591. As we get another look at it.
It was a beautiful jump. I mean, I can't tell you how hard that is to skip a height and have only one attempt and know that it's do or die and to just get it done. It was really impressive.
So that is what gave Casey Lightfoot, put him in the driver's seat. Zach Bradford, his 3 attempts at 591 to no avail. And Casey Lightfoot still just walking through his steps, as some of our other competitors now, we see him signing autographs. Drake Relay posters out for fans in attendance here at Jordan Creek Mall. And Jeff, I've got a high school track athlete at home, and we were talking about pole vaulting, and the family, we were discussing, how do you get into pole vaulting since you don't have high school pole vaulting in Iowa? It could come from former gymnasts. It could just come from track athletes, sprinters, jumpers that just give it a try when they get to the college level.
Yeah, and on the women's side, you do get a lot of former gymnasts that either, grew out of gymnastics or just, wanted to try something different once they got to high school. A lot of the lady pole vaulters have a gymnastics background. Not all of them. Sandy doesn't have any gymnastics background at all in her. So they come from all walks of life for sure. On the men's side, usually you get the risk takers, the bungee jumpers, the skydivers that end up out at the track team, and maybe the track coach knows that they have a skateboarding background or something and says, hey, why don't you go over there and try the pole vault? And that's kind of how we find our way to the pole vault. But anybody that's interested, even in the state of Iowa, we run a little pole vault club up in Cedar Falls, the Panther Pole Vault Club, and we want to get people involved in the sport. Even though there's no high school pole vault here, we want to get people involved and get kids involved. So definitely look to reach out if you're interested in getting your kid involved in the sport, because there's just nothing like it.
All right, Casey Lightfoot's on the runway. 6 meters is the bar. That's 19 feet 8 1/4 inches. You could easily drive a semi-trailer underneath this bar of 6 meters. Casey Lightfoot to pole vault inside Jordan Creek Town Center. That's his second miss. And Jeff, it looks like he's contemplating that third attempt, right?
Yeah, I think he's thinking about it. That's one that you'll kind of scratch your head over, because that was a really good run and good takeoff, and then he hit it pretty hard on the way up. And in the pole vault world, that means, you need to add a little bit more grip on the same pole or go to a stiffer pole. And, with these guys, usually what they're thinking is, well, if I can get a bigger pole to work, I might be able to go up and over that height. So that was one where, you hit it on the way up. Usually that's a sign that was a really, really good run and takeoff. He's carrying a lot of speed through the takeoff into the pole. And so now I would assume that in his head he's thinking, well, if I'm running that well and I'm taking off that well and that pole feels that easy, if I can hold a little bit higher on that pole, or if I can, switch poles to a little bit stiffer one, I have a real chance of making this height. So, you're 2 down now. It feels like a lost opportunity if you don't take that third one. So I'm not, I have no crystal ball, but I feel good about the fact that he's probably going to take a run at it on the third.
Yeah, it definitely looks like he's got that in mind. We're going to step aside. We will come back more from West Des Moines, Iowa, as the Drake Relays Week just getting underway here in the Des Moines metro area.
Mediacom Mobile. You'll love the service and the savings. Unbeatable nationwide coverage. Unlimited data. Unbelievably affordable. Switch and save 30% or more over the top 3 mobile providers. Get unlimited mobile for just $40 per line per month. Bam. No hidden fees, no contracts. Switching is cake. Keep your phone, keep your number, everything you love, except the big bill. Mediacom Mobile. Call or shop online.
Autographs being signed. You see Sandy Morris, the women's champion of the 2026 vault at Jordan Creek. As autographs for some happy fans here in West Des Moines. And Casey Lightfoot, the men's champion, is going to have a third attempt at a 6-meter bar as he cleared 591, a new Jordan Creek mall record. Broke his own record. He hit 590 back in 2024. And it's the start of a fun week of Drake Relays events. The Grand Blue Mile is on Tuesday, and shot put competition Wednesday inside the Drake Fieldhouse. That starts at 6:30 right here on MC22. And Jeff, on Saturday too, for the Drake Relays, competition will crank up even more when we go inside Drake Stadium. Two-time Olympian and World Outdoor Champion Sam Kendricks will make his Drake Relays return. He'll join the field for the outdoor competition. He ranks #1 in the U.S., 6th in the world. As you add Kendricks to this incredible field of Casey Lightfoot, Chris Nilsson, and Zach Bradford, and we will have one heck of a competition coming up on Saturday. So you see we're talking with Katie Moon, Sandy Morris. They will also be on display on Saturday inside Drake Stadium. It'll be in addition to more world-class athletes. Tori Thomas, Jessica Mercer, Maddie Wolfcotter will get added to the field. For the men, Sam Kendricks. We also have Keaton Daniel, Nate Richards, Dyson Wicker, and Trey Oates will join the men's competition. So Jacob Wooten took 4th here at this Jordan Creek competition, with Chris Nilsson finishing 3rd. He cleared 565. Zach Bradford cleared 575 and 583, but Casey Lightfoot clears 591 and attempting 6 meters. Testing to see if he has me or not. Jeff Coover hears me just a little bit. All right. We'll get ready for this 3rd attempt here for Casey Lightfoot. Jeff, I was mentioning these athletes will be joined by Sam Kendricks on Saturday at the Drake Relays. That will get even more heated.
Yeah, the stadium field, I mean, obviously you take all these guys, which is an incredible field, and add some more hungry fellas. So Trey Oates is coming and jumping as well. Trey had a great indoor season, and obviously Sam Kendricks, a total legend of the Drake Relays. So. But here we go with Casey's 3rd attempt. No pole change here. He's just going to add a little bit more grip and try and put a better jump together. We've heard that a number of times. I just need to be a better pole vaulter. He's going to try and do this on the 3rd one. Getting dialed in.
All right, 6 meters for Casey Lightfoot.
Oh my.
Hey, 3 great efforts by Casey Lightfoot. And man, what a fantastic showing by these elite athletes here in West Des Moines, Iowa. Jeff, it was a pleasure. Man, another dynamite vault at Jordan Creek.
Yeah, you know, as a pole vault fan, it doesn't get any better than that. 3 great attempts at 6 meters. That 3rd one was incredible, way up in the air and landing on it. I mean, he's got to feel really good about that. Unbelievable pole vaulting. It was a pleasure to be with you, Brad, as always. And yeah, it's just such a cool event, and I'm so glad that the people of Des Moines get to experience it.
All right, he is Jeff Coover. I am Brad Wells, and Casey Lightfoot is your champion at the 2026 vault at Jordan Creek. Clearing 591. There's the women's results with Sandy Morris taking the title. Katie Moon, runner-up honors, both clearing 475. Chloe Timber getting an attempt, 3 attempts at a PR. Casey Lightfoot, 591. besting Zach Bradford, who cleared 583. Chris Nilsson clearing 575, your top three. So for Jeff Coover and our entire crew, Pat Hurley, Bobby, Matthew, Lance, Kelly, Garrett, and Ben, I am Brad Wells. Thank you so much for joining us for the 2026 Vault at Jordan Creek, all part of the Drake Relays in Des Moines.